Welcome back to Vietnam, and today's topic is the 5 things that I love about Vietnam. One of the best things I think about Vietnam is all these little kids that you see running around. They've got real Christian values for a Buddhist country, in terms of there's this real veneration for the family unit. All these young kids you see running around, going to school and just all over the place. You just see kids everywhere. It gives a bit of energy and vigor to the place. You know, if they're good kids, not if they're little brats. But yeah, it's also something worth noting that Vietnam is one of the youngest populations, not only in Asia, but around the world. The median age here is a minuscule 22. The median age of the population here is only 22 years old, which is freaking amazing. That's why you have little kids like that up at 6:30 a.m. selling, I don't know what she was selling, mangoes, I think. The median age is only 22, as I was saying, which really contrasts with the median age of people in Australia, which is nearly double. The median age in Australia is 38.1 years old. So median just means that half the people will be over that age and half the people will be under that age. It's not the average, because the average can be affected by outliers. So the median is more of an accurate figure in determining what the general age is. Sorry to introduce some maths into the equation there. Pardon the pun, but I am Asian, so it's a requirement, it's a racial requirement to talk about maths in every vlog. I've been really derelict in my duties so far. Yes, that is probably one of the coolest things that I like to see when I'm out and about. I like to see a young population, energy, vigor, hope, you know, all the shit that comes with youth. The second thing which is good about Vietnam, and I thought it was just me because I'm Viet, but apparently this Australian dude was telling me he was not looking forward to coming back to Australia. He was a cool guy. I'm not like one of those sex tourists or the lower class visitors that we have here. He was just, I think he was on an end of year footy trip or something. He was a bit of a, I don't know, he wasn't really a bogan, he was like a self-aware bogan. So he was a pretty cool guy, Kieran. So he was saying shit is like 100 times more interesting here than in Australia, which is a conservative estimate, because I think stuff is really more interesting here. I mean, not, you know, not on this particular stretch of road. There's not that much of interest happening, but in general, there's never a dull moment. To coin a really dull phrase, but there's never a dull moment. Even a trip down to the shops, or, you know, think of the most boring errand you can run in Australia, and it's kind of spiced up when you do it here. There's always stuff happening, man, out on the streets. There's not one quiet pocket of town. There's not one boring pocket of town, and stuff is ever changing. It's like a really ever changing city. Yes, it's an interesting place. Like the old war motto, visit, what was it? Friendly places and kill interesting people, or something like that. It was something like that. Sorry guys, it's 6 a.m. You gotta forgive me, mate. Yes, the third thing, and I'm so disorganized. I haven't jotted this down, man. I'm a bad Asian. They could revoke my Asian card anytime. Yes, the third point, what the hell was it? Anyway, I'll just jump around in order. I'll say third point is, it's really cheap. It's a pigeon feed. I don't know if you caught that. There was a guy feeding the pigeons. If you didn't, then my clever segue, or what do they call it? My clever little reference would have just gone lost into the nether. That would have been sad. Yeah, so it's cheap. Things are affordable, man. You can do stuff here that normally lack of funds might stop you from doing, such as travel. For instance, for me to take a bus from Saigon to Phnom Penh, which is a freaking another country, Cambodia, you know what the cost of that is? 10 smackaroos. 10 freaking smackaroos, man. What can you get for $10 in Oz? Probably get a smack in the face is about all you can get. You can get a pack of ciggies. Maybe not even. It's before tax. Yeah, so for the price of a pack of cigarettes, I can go to Cambodia. You know, how fucking nuts is that? It's incredible. Not as incredible as that woman exercising, but almost. Almost. Yeah, so value's enormous. Value's crazy. Some disabled woman lifting her leg, non-operational leg. Yeah, value's nuts. Value's fucking nuts. You can get a lot of shit here for not much money. And the fourth point, what the hell was the fourth point? I'm gonna have to go with the ladies. The ladies, not that there's any up at this hour. They're probably the factor that differentiates Vietnam from other poor, you know, interesting countries. You got your Yemen, you got your Timbuktu, that's not a country. You got your, there's a heap of places that are interesting, they're kind of dirty, there's a lot of shit going on. But you know what they lack? They fucking lack the ladies, man, the feminine touch, the fairest sex. Yeah, I mean, you know, I could go to Sao Paulo or, what other shitholes are there in the world, man? India. Or, you know, man, my brain really doesn't kick into gear until after 7, does it? Well, there's a lot of, you know, poor, interesting places in the world that you could have adventures in, but they lack this kind of the gracefulness, the sex appeal, the tong ta, the yin yang, I don't know, man. I don't know how to describe it. Just the gracefulness, I think is a good word for that at this time of morning. Gracefulness of the some of these ladies that you have around Vietnam. So that'll be the fourth point. And the fifth point. What the hell was the fifth point, man? I knew it was a bad idea, bringing a structure to these vlogs. Oh yeah, I'll just have to go with the whole bike thing. Bike culture, because I mean, for one, it makes shit 10 times more interesting. Just having a bike, you can just zip around, you can duck into these little fucking crevices around town. For instance, just say I want to turn right and just see what's happening down this dead-end alleyway. I can. It'd be a little bit more inconvenient. Shit, man, that dude was trying out for the Tour de France or something, took the corner at speed. Yeah, with the bike, you can duck into these little crevices. Now, this is just a place to park, but you can just duck into anywhere, these little interesting alleyways. The woman's giving me a pretty severe look. Yeah, so you can just jump into these interesting alleyways. People were grilling meats and doing all sorts of jazz. Someone preparing, you know, coffees and stuff. A woman sitting on a chair. I think she's surgically attached to that chair. So yeah, bike has numerous advantages. One of the other things I like about the bike is, you know, if you're a bit of a sticky beak like me, you're a bit of a sticky beak, you like to see what other people in the community are up to. It's nothing like a bike to reveal all, you know what I mean? Like, you can see into people's souls. Well, not quite into their souls, but you can see, like, what shit they're transporting or what's going on, what they're doing out on the town. Like, for instance, in a car, I wouldn't know this guy's transporting his daughter to school. And it's kind of interesting the way they transport kids, you know, in this kind of marsupial fashion. they have the kids just protected in the front or clinging on in the back, like a koala style. You know, it's pretty cool. You see all these kids hanging on for dear life with their parents, you know, transporting them to school or wherever they're going, usually to school. And if not to school, then to evening school or night school or holiday school. There's all sorts of schools outside of school here. Yeah, so that's a pretty interesting thing about the bike, man, that I really love about Vietnam. It makes it pretty cool, you know, like you can just see what people are up to. It's a bit more impersonal with the car, the automobile. It's not as intimate. Like you can pretty much just see into people's daily activities, man. Like you can see what shopping they're carrying or like whatever, man. It's transparent. It kind of gives this feeling of activity to the place, the city. Motion. It just looks pretty cool. Like you see that people are going up on the bridge, people on their bikes. It's good stuff, mate. It's good stuff here. It's an interesting town. I'm a little bit biased because I am Vietnamese, but there's a lot of honourable traits that we can really admire Vietnamese people for. Like they're troopers, man. They're soldiers. Like all these little kids that you see, like half of these little blighters, they're holding down a job. They're holding down some kind of a job, mate. No matter their age. Like you look at them and you think they're young as hell. They're barely embryos, but they're already working, you know, working for the man. Working for the man. You know, you might think, oh shit, you know, like these kids, you know, they're going to school. After school, you know, they go home, kick back in front of the Nintendo or the Xbox or whatever, you know. Nah, man, that's not the case. Most of these blighters are moonlighting in other jobs. Moonlighting, not other jobs, they're moonlighting at work. Like the kid that, you know, we saw selling the mangoes, man. Like a lot of them do that after school, after they've fulfilled their obligations at school. Kick off the uniform, throw off the thongs, and rush out and man some stands or chop up some veggies or do something productive, you know. I mean, Vietnamese kind of have a bad rep for being rip-off merchants. I'll probably save that for another video. I'll probably dispute that because most of them are pretty honest, you know, what I've met. I've met a lot. They're basically pretty much honest but pragmatic. Yeah, so anyway, that's the 5 things. That's my top 5 list of what's cool about the country, the nation. Yeah, to summarize again, the food, the ladies, the value, the bikes, and the youth. The youth. Yeah, that's my top 5. I mean, you could probably name 500, but I'll keep it at 5 for now. Anyway, adios amigos, ciao. I'll catch you guys later and enjoy the rest of your life. Toodaloo. Have a brilliant day. Have a brilliant day, and I'll probably catch you guys in the next video. Catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one, fellas.